Good morning. This is a reflection for the 18th of June, 2020, St. Francis Assisi's Parish in Burien, Washington. My name is Robert Edgman. Brothers and sisters, let me prepare you for today's reflection because it should, as my grandfather used to say, it should ruffle some feathers. Thoughts and prayers. How often have we heard those three words lately? Thoughts and prayers. How often have we said those three words lately? And please forgive me for pointing this out, but it's sort of become a cliche that we say when something bad happens. We tend to just toss it out with trite casualness, similar to the way that we toss out "have a good day" to random people we see. The question we need to ask ourselves is, what do we really mean when we give someone our thoughts and prayers? Have we, brothers and sisters, ever really taken the time to reflect on what thoughts we're giving people who are experiencing hardship and pain? Have we, brothers and sisters, ever taken the time to reflect on what prayers we're supposedly giving people who are experiencing great loss and confusion? So I ask again, what prayer do you pray when you give someone your thoughts and prayers? Today's reading, Matthew 6, 7 through 15, is about what prayers we give to God. Jesus points out that most of us, myself included, are not only not praying correctly, but in fact are doing exactly what he told us not to do. In praying, do not babble like the pagans who think that they will be heard because of their many words. Do not be like them. Your Father knows what you need before you ask him. So let's take a moment right now and do some serious self-examination about our prayers. Let's ask ourselves right now, what do our prayers actually sound like? Do our prayers sound like a child's Christmas wish list? God, please let me get that raise. If it be your will, you need to throw that last part in just so you don't sound too self-centered. Do our prayers make God out to be a neglectful father who will only stop what he's doing and pay attention to us if we ask him the same thing over and over again? Do our prayers make God out to be an absent-minded father who has to be reminded constantly what we need? Do our prayers make God out to be capricious, given to sudden changes in moods, fickle, who we've got to beg in order to ensure that the right thing happens? God, please guide the hand of the pilot as we travel, because I know if I don't ask this, you're going to let the pilot have a stroke and the plane's going to crash. Do our prayers make God out to be a puppet on strings, who will have no choice but to do what we ask if we just say the right magic words, the right many times, with the right amount of effort and earnestness? Are our prayers to someone communicating with a false God? Prayers of someone whose relationship with God is one of frustration, doubt, always wondering that, did I pray hard enough? Do I need to pray more? Do I need to pray longer? Maybe then he'll listen. Finally, are our prayers the prayers of someone who thinks we need to give something to get something in return from God? A transactional relationship with God, not a relationship of a loving father with his beloved child. Part of Jesus' mission was to change the traditional transactional relationship between God and humans to one of a beloved, loving father with his beloved child. And one way to facilitate that change was to change the way we communicate with God. And Jesus showed us exactly how to do it, how to talk to God as a father. And we've actually given it a name. We call it the Lord's Prayer. And it's so simple, we memorize the words as children, but When was the last time you really took the time to understand what the words were saying? It's easy to get lost in the flow of King James English, so an exercise I did was put the Lord's Prayer into Robert's English. Permit me to share with you what I mean by that. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. God, you are my Father, with all the positive qualities that a father possesses. Caring, aware, always present, patient, forgiving. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. God, I accept your will in my life. And more importantly, by accepting your will, I'm also accepting your instructions on how to live my life. Unconditional love to my neighbor. Unconditional love to those who are not like me, who think differently, who look differently, who worship differently. Feeding the hungry. Giving comfort to those troubled and lost. Taking care of the sick and those not as blessed as I am. The first two sentences of the Lord's Prayer have established our relationship with God and affirmed that we will strive to live a Christ-centered life. Give us this day our daily bread. This is the big ask. Give me today everything that I need. Not what I want, not what I think will make me happy, but give me today what I need. And I trust that what is provided is what I need. And when you think about it, this pretty much takes the place of the prayer asking for a raise. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespassed against us. Forgive me when my self-centeredness gets in the way of your mission. And please let me show the forgiveness I'm asking for from you to everyone else. Do not let us fall into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Let me be open to your guidance so that I live the life you want for me. Brothers and sisters, your homework for the next 7 days is whenever you feel the need to pray, whenever you feel the need to give someone your thoughts and prayers, 1, pray the Lord's Prayer. While you're doing it, take your time and say it slower than you normally would. While you're praying it, take the time to put it into your own words so that it becomes real and meaningful to you. And then at the end of it all, just sit. Be quiet and open yourself up to the Holy Spirit. You'll be amazed how God will answer you back. Brothers and sisters, be safe, be strong, wash your hands, go in peace, glorifying the Lord in your life.